like to try, we have cream cheese and lemon turnover.
We're good, thank you.
Alright. Thank you. Have a little breakfast.
It's very simple.
You can just leave it. We're in the spa and we're getting ready to have our first pedicure. Should be interesting. I've never had anybody touch my feet. It's gonna be. Let's try. Are you excited about your first pedicure?
I'm so excited.
Sorry. I'll be a little grumpy.
Take a picture of this one. Like she said, take a picture of
I'm videoing.
Yeah. She wants to do you to look at where she's scrubbed.
My feet are so ticklish.
That's why you don't touch them.
He said you might have to shaky, shaky, shaky if you get stuck.
What's up everyone, welcome back to One Strange Adventure, welcome to the next video, and welcome to a tour of the Norwegian PRIMA.
The PRIMA is the newest ship of her class.
Yes, it is pretty awesome. It's almost 1,000 feet long, it's like 18, 19 stories tall. There's a lot to kind of unpack here. So we're going to break this up into 3 different sections. We're going to talk about some of the main ship features.
Yep.
Then we're going to talk about some of the things you can do for entertainment. And then we're going to talk about the food, because that was my favorite part.
And then we're going to go into like our likes and dislikes of each section.
All right, with that said, let's go ahead and get into some of the ship's features that we really like. All right, so the first thing you see when you actually enter onto the ship is that main lobby, the Atrium.
Yes. It's the Penrose Atrium. It's
Yes.
3 stories tall, so it's not quite as tall as other ships that we've heard about, but it is massive.
Massive.
Tons of lighting, tons of activities going on. It's full of all your different shops and boutiques, and that's where you would get like your pictures if you wanted to get pictures on the ships and things like that. It is massive.
Yeah, it's the main focal point for sure. When you go in there, you think of that as almost like your hub.
Yeah.
And then you can branch off into the different areas of the ship from there. Like she said, there's a lot of shops. There's these main hallways that kind of run off of the atrium, and they have a lot of different things. So actually, Cindy ended up picking up a purse while we were there.
Yeah, and a Pandora bracelet.
And a Pandora bracelet. And they had cameras, like vending machine cameras there, which was pretty cool. There was just a lot going on right there, including Starbucks, and you could walk up to where the sky bridge is on the outside.
And it was just the overall feel-good area for like the entertainment at nighttime. You can get to all your different theaters and those types of activities all from that atrium.
It also happened to be where we would all meet if we had an emergency.
Yes.
So that's where we kind of did our drill at the beginning. Evidently that's what happens when there's an emergency.
Yeah, that was like our #1 spot to go after we got on the ship.
Yep. So you start there and then you just kind of branch off and go everywhere. And it's a lot to see.
Yes. From there is where your elevators and your room access is at. So
Right.
Then from there we went to our room and checked it out, and we had a balcony suite.
The lift is going up.
Lifting your heads.
Well, there's somebody walking behind you.
That's why I was doing.
Hi, welcome home.
What?
The balcony suite was pretty awesome. It had a queen-size bed with a pull-out couch, a full bathroom, tons of storage room for the closet, little refrigerator area and desk, as well as the balcony.
Yeah, and that was just an amazing
It was
room.
definitely enough for us to spend a week.
For our first cruise, like, that was pretty cool to have that room.
One of my favorite features was the art gallery, and it's not like you're walking through a hall full of art.
It's actually on the outside.
Well, they have some stuff on the inside as well, but the outside, the whole side of the ship on level 8 was just sculptures and statues and greenery and like nice lounge areas, and
Right.
it was just a very aesthetically pleasing area to be in.
It was really pretty.
It was one of my favorite places to hang out.
So if you ever get to go on the ship, make sure you go outside and just kind of walk the perimeter, because there's a lot to do inside, but there's also like really pretty views on the outside.
It was like my escape pod.
Yeah. One of the cooler things to see was actually on level 8, I believe. They also had these like sky bridges. I call them sky bridges. They actually went out over the water and then came back to the main deck.
Yeah, they're clear glass. And so you just walk over them and you can see the water underneath. It's a little freaky when you're actually like on the go.
When you're looking down.
And looking down at the water, or when you're going the opposite direction and the water's coming past you.
Right. Looks like you're walking really
Yeah.
fast.
So if you get motion sickness, I wouldn't recommend looking down.
Right.
But other than that, it's beautiful.
It was actually interesting because while we were there, they actually had one of the panels shatter, and that side was closed down.
Yeah.
So that's kind of scary because you're out over the water in the open ocean, and
It's not like missing. It's just the glass itself shattered, and it didn't shatter where the beam is at, which is what's really weird. It only shattered in the center.
you can tell they're like tempered glass, so they don't break and bust apart, but the little spider webs were everywhere through it. So
Yeah.
that was interesting. That boat costs $1.1 billion to build,
And they have glass shattering.
and they have glass shattering on it. So that's, I will say this ship had some of the friendliest staff, and I know that's probably a thing that you're going to experience across all cruises.
Yes.
But we got to know some of the staff. They represented over 50 countries on the actual ship, just within the staff.
Yeah, and we really enjoyed spending time with them and talking to them, because we would go to the same areas throughout the day, like passing through the camera shop. We got to speak with one of our friends about cameras. Of course, he's a camera geek, so that's what he wants to see the entire time. And so we were able to see the same person over and over again. They get to know you get to know them, and exchange stories, and so it's pretty awesome.
It is. It was awesome to get to know everyone. Alright, so this ship also has several pools. However, they're not very big, and we didn't get to use any of them.
Because they were crowded.
So crowded. It's so much so that if you walked out onto the deck at 8, by 8 a.m., all of the chairs were basically accounted for already.
Yeah.
So it made it pretty impossible to find a spot to
place.
go swimming, or even to sit out on the deck. So it did have, 3 pools. Had the big main pool that was up on deck 17.
Yep, and then 2 infinity pools.
2 infinity pools, and they're not very big. They were just kind of hanging off on the side, and you could overlook, and frankly, they were kind of terrifying to see little kids swimming in them, to be
Yeah,
honest.
because the glass actually was only like 4 inches above the water,
Yeah.
and there's nothing over that other than the ocean. Yep, and then there was 4 hot tubs, 2 on the main deck with the main pool, but then there was 2 in the specialty beach area
In the club.
in the club.
You can pay $300 for the week to access this little private
beach.
area,
Yep.
so that you had more chairs, your own bar, and your own hot tubs.
Yeah.
Up on the upper deck, you did have like a water park. It had some slides, and then they also had dry slides that we tried out. We didn't do any of the water slides, but we did do the dry slides going down the side.
And then it also had the aqua park for the kids.
Right.
Which was like a little splash pad zone area, and it had lounge chairs for the adults.
Yeah.
If you had children up there.
Another great feature of this cruise ship is the spa.
Yes.
It was really nice. I had my first pedicure.
Yes, with Kendall.
It was an odd experience, but I did enjoy it, and the spa was really nice.
Yes. And then you could also purchase like individual things in the spa, or you could get like your thermal packet where it actually had like a heated room, like a sauna, but then they had the hot room, which was hotter than the sauna. And then they had the cold room.
Which is like cryotherapy.
And then they had the like heated lounge chairs that you could just sit and relax, and that had like the full windows that you could look out of at the front of the ship.
Yeah.
So pretty awesome for relaxing on this ship. It's not all about the activities to keep you busy. It's about making you want to relax and enjoy your time and think about you.
Yep.
So I really did appreciate that.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
So there's different types of shows. They actually have like the pubs area.
Like local bars with bands.
Yeah. But that's also like the comedy club and trivia and things like that. And then they had the auditorium, which is like the stage with the theater seating for actual shows where they had like concerts and
we got to see the Noise Boys.
Yeah.
Which was beatboxing, tap dancing. You would never think those two go together, but they did.
And it was pretty awesome.
It was pretty awesome.
The only downside to the shows is you had to reserve for them, so it wasn't first come, first serve.
Right.
So when we first got on the ship, we didn't know that we had to reserve for them, and you couldn't reserve like in advance. So that was one thing that I wish I would have known in advance, because I would have snagged some extra tickets for some of those shows that they offered. But we ended up just like walking in on the Noise Boys, and there was actually seating. Some people had reserved and left, so we were still able to catch a show. It just, we didn't get to see the whole thing.
Yep. And it's loud, and you will hear it in your room sometimes. Yeah. So just be prepared for that if you're anywhere near the kind of center of the ship.
Yeah, our room was in the center of the ship, so we were literally directly above the theater.
Right. One of my favorite places was the arcade.
It's the Galaxy Pavilion.
Yep. It was pretty cool. You had all of these different types of games. My favorite was the race cars, like the virtual reality Indy car driving. Somebody wrecked me, otherwise I would have won. I just want to say,
Todd wrecked you.
Somebody wrecked me. Yeah, I think I would have won that one. But then there's these virtual reality games where you can play and like jump. So we just kind of played around. It was $8 a game. The two that I played were $8 a game.
Yeah, and then like the escape room was like $15 if you want to do the virtual escape room.
Also, reservations required.
Yep.
So make sure you think about everything you want to do while you're on that ship and get your reservations done
As
before.
soon as you get on the ship, you can start reserving those things once you're on like the check after you've checked in. You can start reserving those things, but it's things that they don't allow you to check in for early.
Right. But then they had a second game, which was a gaming area, which was on the top of the ship, which was I think the 18th floor, where you had like putt-putt, darts,
ping pong,
even pickleball court was in there.
Yeah.
And you also had you could walk up to the top level and get on the go-karts.
Yeah.
There's a go-kart track 19 stories above the ocean as you're cruising in the Atlantic. That was pretty awesome. They're all electric go-karts, and they do have like little sounds that they create, so it makes it feel like you're in a race car.
And I think they're governed so that you can't go but so fast
Yeah.
on them.
There was no Mario Kart going on.
Yeah, no Mario Kart. You can't like go off the side of the bridge and come up on a balloon.
The little cloud range up.
But it was really cool to see. We did not get to do it because they were sold out.
Also requires reservations, and there was not a single time open the entire time we were on the cruise ship.
Yeah, we checked a couple times and they were closed.
Lots to do on the ship. Even if you just go for the cruising experience and never even get off on any of the ports, you will enjoy yourself. There's plenty to do on this cruise ship.
I agree.
Let's talk about food. Because one thing I enjoyed about this cruise, or being on a cruise, was my little magic card and my little magic tablet. My little magic card got me all the food and drinks that I wanted, and my little tablet allowed me to order all the food I wanted to. And it just magically appeared on the table.
Now that's only in the Indulge Lounge, and it's called Indulge for that reason. There's 9 restaurants in that one area.
That was our favorite.
And
At
you
least my
order
favorite.
your food from the tablet that has all your restaurants on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then your food comes from every different direction from all these different restaurants. No matter what you're ordering, it just shows up.
It was amazing. It was amazing. I want one of those tablets at home. I just need to figure out how to make it work.
The food was amazing. Every restaurant we went to, just the food was phenomenal.
Yes.
But I will say, if you have a food allergy and you let them know in advance, you have to go to your reservationist host and pre-order all your different foods for what restaurants you want throughout the week so that they can guarantee that your food is not touching seafood or
Right.
doesn't have any onions or doesn't have gluten.
And they'll prepare it for when you're coming.
Yeah, and so you're still getting fresh food that night, but they have a separate kitchen that it gets cooked in.
Right.
So that kitchen knows that you're coming to that restaurant and needs to have your food.
Which was pretty awesome.
Put your allergies on there. They have a whole online form that you can fill out in detail of everything that you're allergic to, and they will do their best to keep you away from those items.
We did some specialty dining. We did the Mexican restaurant. We also did hibachi. The hibachi was a different experience. They actually sing while they're preparing all the food, and every chef is singing a different song.
Everybody! Woo, woo. Hey, hey, baby. I wanna know. Hey, you be my girl.
So it can be a little overwhelming.
It was a little overwhelming while you're trying to sit there and talk. Don't think you're gonna go there, sit down, and just have a good conversation
No,
with
you're going to
with your
sit down
party.
and enjoy the entertainment.
Yes.
Is what you're going to do. You're
Right.
not going to try to have a conversation while you're eating because they're singing to you.
But one of my favorite places was actually the local,
Yes.
and I just absolutely love that. Ellen, who was an awesome bartender, she was amazing, and they had some of the best wings I have ever eaten in my life. It was like rotisserie,
Rotisserie wings.
but then like
baked.
baked with the sauce of whatever sauce you put in there.
And you
So it
can
was just
order
so
them
good.
like extra well if you like them really crispy, or you could order them normal and have them soft and tender, like the best.
That was like one of our favorite like treats or like snack spots. We just go down and grab a drink and some wings. And
Yeah, and the waiters actually like decorate your desserts and stuff. So
Yeah.
we got some pretty fancy desserts because our waiters ended up loving us. So they ended up like giving us extra stuff on the dessert.
Yep.
On the dessert.
We did buy the drink package that went along with it. Highly recommend that.
Yes, unlimited drinks for the.
Not just alcohol drinks, but
No, yeah,
also
you
soda
get,
and
get coffee and sodas and non-alcoholic beverages, like they do the virgin daiquiris and
Right.
all of those things as well. So if you just like drinks outside of like plain black coffee at the buffet,
right.
the unlimited drink package is the way to go because you can order any soda from any restaurant and you're not going to be charged per cup.
Or any drink, like
Yeah.
if you want to drink with dinner or something like that. Like there's so much variety there that it is worth having that card and being able to just use that each time.
Yeah, and it actually just links to your room card. They have it programmed on there, and so we were able to like literally have whatever drinks we wanted and never had to worry about paying. because it's a cashless ship.
But those two places, like if they just had the Indulge and the local, I would be fine.
Yeah.
Like it was just really good. So one of the other features of a typical cruise ship is a buffet area where you can get like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We found that the way they developed or designed the ship, it didn't leave a lot of room for that buffet area. No. So it was always crowded. Yeah, always.
They want you to go to your specialty dinings and they want you to go to the regular restaurants. But you had to go through the regular restaurants to get to the buffet or through the pool area to get to the buffet. And which is fine, but there were so many people through those areas that it was almost overwhelming to go into the buffet.
They didn't leave a lot of room for that area, and it was probably the most populated room on the entire cruise ship.
And that's because that's what people are mostly used to, is the main dining room and the buffet.
Right.
And this ship is designed for you to go enjoy the local or the
they give you so many options.
Yeah, there's like 17 different restaurants on the ship, so they don't want you to just go to the buffet. That's supposed to be for like in between meals, I think. Right.
Overall, the food was amazing.
Yeah.
It was some of the best food I've ever eaten in my life.
We still fought the buffet every morning for breakfast because that was our favorite place to go.
I put on about 7 pounds while I was on that ship, so yeah. The food was good.
I only gained 2.
Yeah.
So I did the stairs every day, so it helped.
All right, so what was your favorite feature of the ship?
For me, it's the art gallery, lounge area, deck 8, like just deck 8 all together. I could go out and get my Starbucks on 7 and then go up the steps and go outside and enjoy the whole deck.
Yep.
That's my favorite part.
One of my favorite features was actually the gym. I know we didn't talk about the gym, but the gym was pretty nice. I love that it's positioned right up on the front of the ship, looking out, so you're just watching where you're going. And the treadmills line the windows, so you're just on the treadmill just watching what was going on outside, and it was really pretty. All right, so we know there's probably a million other features that we could talk about on this cruise ship, but this was our experience on the Norwegian PRIMA. It was an amazing ship. If you've been on other cruises, we heard from a lot of people that you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it because it's so different than your traditional cruise ship.
Yeah, we asked everybody, like, what did they think about the ship? And it was either, I love the food, I hate the way that it's laid out, or I love it all together, or I hate it all together. Right. Like, it's hit or miss.
Very polarizing. There was no one in the middle that was like, oh, this is okay. And the Viva is coming out next, which is, the Prima was meant to be kind of a testing ship just because it's so different. The Viva is coming out and it's supposed to incorporate a lot of the good things from the Prima.
They're using the feedback from the Prima to develop the Viva.
Would you do it again?
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too. All right,
Are you kidding me? I was looking at more ships when we were on that ship. Like,
right.
When can I go on my next one?
All right, well, we hope you've enjoyed this tour of the Norwegian PRIMA. Like I said, there's probably plenty of other things we could talk about, but this was our experience and we had a great time. So we hope you enjoyed this video.
The next video is going to have our excursions.
From the ports.
We did get off the ship 4 times. So we'll have footage from each of our locations that we were able to visit.
Yep. Mexico, Jamaica, Grand Cayman Islands, and the Bahamas. All coming next week. All right, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you really like it, make sure you subscribe.
And ring the bell so you get notified when we release our next video, which is the excursion.
Yep, and check us out on Patreon.
Yes.
All right, until the next strange adventure.
Keep making your own.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching today's video, and a special thank you to our Patreons listed right over here.
Yes, without you guys, we could not do this. If you have not considered joining yet, please do. Links down below.
And our next video is recommended right below this one, so go check that out.